Hi everyone, it's Library Linda, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of Did You Know? Did you know that March 21st of 1913 was the first day of the worst natural disaster that took place in Ohio? This took place on Good Friday, and it was known as the Great Flood of 1913. This started off in the southern states of Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi with storms that were producing tornadoes. This mixed with a blizzard that was in the northern plains in the Midwest. Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York took the brunt of the storm, with between 60 and 90 mile-per-hour winds, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. On Saturday, the warm air from the south moved up into the Ohio Valley, and the snow and the ice started to melt. On Easter Sunday, another storm was forming, and it impacted Colorado, Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and Iowa. On Monday, those storms merged with another one that came up from Texas, and it stalled over top of Indiana and Ohio, dumping 8 inches of rain on Monday and 6 more inches of rain on Tuesday. Then the storm finally moved off to the East Coast, where it affected New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, New Jersey, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Delaware, Rhode Island, and Maryland. This is what brought about the Ohio Conservancy Act that established districts to implement flood control, and how the Muskingum watershed was established. Did you know? On March 21st of 1965, this civil rights march started in Selma, Alabama, took 4 days and 54 miles to reach Montgomery. There were 2 other attempts for this march on the 7th and the 9th, but they were turned back by state troopers with tear gas and nightsticks. When the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. heard of the failed attempts, he came to Selma to march with them. And with the help of U.S. Army troops and National Guardsmen, they were able to walk peacefully across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Did you know? On March 21st of 1952, Cleveland disc jockey Alan Freed is the first person to coin the phrase rock and roll. And did you know? On Friday, March 21st, he hosted the very first rock and roll concert, and 25,000 people attended. Did you know? On March 24th of 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker ran aground on Bligh Reef in Prince William Sound, Alaska. The crew of the Valdez veered out of the shipping lane to avoid an iceberg when it came in contact with Bligh Reef. That is when they lost 11 million gallons of oil. 2.1 billion was spent on cleanup by the Exxon employees, federal responders, and 11,000 Alaskan volunteers. They cleaned up 1,300 miles of coastline. Did you know that March 26th is Live Long and Prosper Day? Live Long and Prosper is Spock's famous Vulcan blessing from the TV series Star Trek. It's a day to do something to increase your happiness, longevity, and prosperity, like read a book, make an investment, change your diet, or take a walk in nature. Whatever you choose, this is the perfect day for it. And did you know that Leonard Nimoy was born on this day in 1931? I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Did You Know? And I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.